Hi, it can be a little difficult to visualize how to use the Lenovo Yoga Book's Create Pad, so I thought I'd make you a short demo video. First, the Yoga Book itself is really sleek. I love the book size design, the watch band hinge. It's very solid, doesn't have anything that sticks out of it, and is really a well-designed product. Now it's got a traditional clamshell design with a watch band hinge, which means you can use it in just about every orientation, which is pretty cool. As you turn it around, the screen goes on and off like you'd expect. It runs a slightly modified version of Android with more of a taskbar down here on Windows 10 and some multi-windowing where apps can open up in as phone mode or full screen. But I really want to show you today is this Create Pad, which is the most unique thing about it. The hardware is the same on Windows, but obviously it works a little bit differently if you get the Windows version. So the Create Pad allows you to So the first thing the Create Pad allows you to do is simply to use it as a regular tablet. In fact, it's a Wacom or Wacom, however you want to say it, enabled pad that you can draw or write on. It's pressure sensitive depending upon the application you use. Obviously, the application has to support it. It ships with ArtRage and Lenovo's Note Saver. It works really well. The disadvantage of having the tablet be separate from the screen this way is that sometimes it's a little harder to see where you're writing, so you have to get used to that. The advantages are that your hand never gets in the way of what you're writing, which is kind of nice, and that the screen can be very thin because the Wacom technology is down here, and that means you don't get much of a parallax effect from the depth of where you're drawing. So where you look like you're drawing is where you're drawing almost always. And of course you can do all the things you'd expect to be able to do on a tablet with changing color and sketching. So in addition, the Note Saver app offers a couple extra features where you can create new pages, which I'll show you when we get to the inking. The other magical thing about the Create Pad is if I press the little stylus button to change modes, a keyboard pops up. Now that keyboard is not a physical keyboard, it's an overlay that you can see right on the glass. So I can type just by touching, and that's sort of good, and it's very easy to type, but unfortunately it means you can't rest your fingers anywhere on the keyboard to keep them oriented. So it's very difficult to touch type. You wind up kind of hunting and pecking, but at least the keyboard's not in the way of the display, which is an advantage. The third thing the keyboard can do, the Create Pad can do, is it can actually use ink. So I can take the stylus and remove, using the cap, the stylus insert and put in an ink refill that you get several of with the unit. And then I have to remember, I have to push it in, and I have to remember to use paper. It comes with a pad that's magnetic, and attaches here. You can use any paper you want. The nice thing about the magnetic pad is it won't shift around on you. And then I can write, and it shows up either in this little note-taking window if I want to note-take while I'm watching a video or something else, or I can click on it and make it full screen, and then it becomes more like a full drawing app. What's interesting is even though the ink is a fixed color, of course, in the pen, I can choose different colors to write with, and then on the screen where my digital notes appear, they show up colored. Now I can use this inking capability with other applications like OneNote, but the nice thing about Lenovo's Note Saver is it includes its own page management. So I can just press that button and it goes to a new page, and then I can rip off the paper. If I'm in OneNote or something else, I have to do that by myself. So it's pretty cool. I wish there was a better way to store the stylus and the ink refills. It doesn't come with any way to organize those, unfortunately, and it's kind of easy to either misplace the stylus or lose the little tiny ink refills. You also can't close it with the pad in there, which makes sense, but it means the pad also needs to be stored somehow. But all in all, it's a very clever set of 3 different ways you can do input in a really portable 1.5-pound device.